My name's is Gloria May Henderson, and I'm 68 years old. And what happened at my nephew Jerome's wedding last September still has folks in Detroit talking about it. But before I tell you how I exposed the devil living in my own house, let me ask you something. Where are you watching from today? Drop your city in the comments below, because I know I'm not the only one who's been through this particular kind of hell. I was standing in the church fellowship hall, watching my son Marcus slow dance with that woman, my daughter-in-law Keisha, when I felt my phone buzz in my purse. It was my lawyer, Mr. Goldstein, texting me 3 words that made my hands shake. We got everything. That's when I knew it was time. After 3 years of being gaslit, manipulated, and nearly thrown out of my own home, the truth was finally going to see daylight. And Lord help me, I was going to make sure everybody in that room heard it. You see, I raised Marcus alone after his daddy passed from cancer when the boy was just 12. I worked double shifts at Detroit Medical Center, cleaning floors and emptying trash, making sure that child had everything he needed. New shoes for basketball even when mine had holes. SAT prep courses even when I was counting pennies for the bus. I remember walking through snow because I gave him my bus money for his senior class trip. That's what mothers do. We sacrifice without keeping score. Marcus was my pride and joy. Graduated from Wayne State with honors. Got himself a good job at Ford. Made me proud every single day. Then 5 years ago, he brought Keisha home. Pretty girl, talked sweet, went to church every Sunday. She called me Mama Gloria and helped with the dishes after Sunday dinner. I thought my boy had found himself a good woman. Lord knows I couldn't have been more wrong. The first sign something was off came about 3 years ago. Small things at first. Keisha started making comments about my memory. Mama Gloria, you told us that story yesterday, she'd say with that concerned look, even when I knew I hadn't. You sure you turned off the stove? She'd ask, even though I'd been cooking for 50 years without burning down a house. Marcus would just nod along, that worried expression growing deeper on his face. Then came the doctor's appointments. Keisha insisted on taking me, said she wanted to help, sat right there in the room, answering questions for me like I couldn't speak for myself. She's been forgetting things, doctor, getting confused about dates. We're really worried. The doctor ran tests, all normal, of course, but Keisha had explanations for that too. These things don't always show up right away, she told Marcus. We need to be prepared for when Mama Gloria needs more help. What would you have done in my place? Comment below if you've ever had someone try to convince you that you're losing your mind when you know you're sharp as a tack. The house situation started about 2 years ago. My little house on Dexter Avenue wasn't much. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, needed a new roof, but it was paid for. My late husband Roy and I bought it in 1978, raised Marcus there, paid off that mortgage working overtime and saving every penny. It was mine, free and clear, worth about $120,000 in today's market. Not a mansion, but in Detroit, that's something. Keisha started dropping hints about how hard it was to maintain. Mama Gloria, these stairs are getting dangerous for you. This neighborhood isn't what it used to be. Wouldn't you be happier somewhere, safer? She'd leave brochures for senior living facilities on my kitchen table. Beautiful Sunset Acres, Golden Years Manor, places that cost $3,000 a month for a tiny room and cafeteria food. I told her I wasn't going anywhere. This was my home. Roy's roses still bloomed in the backyard. Marcus's height marks were still on the kitchen doorframe. My church was 3 blocks away, and Sister Washington picked me up every Sunday for service. But Keisha kept pushing, and worse, she had Marcus pushing too. Mama, we just want what's best for you, my son would say, not quite meeting my eyes. Keisha found this nice place in Southfield. They have activities, medical staff on site. You'd make friends. I have friends, I told him. I have a home. I'm not going anywhere. That's when things got ugly. The gaslighting intensified. Keisha would move things and swear I'd done it. My reading glasses would disappear from the living room and show up in the freezer. "Oh, Mama Gloria, look where you put your glasses," she'd exclaim, loud enough for Marcus to hear from the other room. My bills would go missing, then turn up in strange places. She'd tell Marcus I was hiding mail, getting paranoid, but I'm not foolish. After the third time my glasses ended up somewhere strange, I went to Best Buy and bought myself something. Tiny cameras, no bigger than buttons. The young man there helped me set them up on my phone. Nanny cams, he called them. I put one in the living room, one in the kitchen, and one in the hallway. Cost me $300 I couldn't really spare, but something told me I was going to need proof of what was happening in my own home. Lord have mercy, the things I saw on those recordings. Keisha going through my papers when I was at church, taking photos of my bank statements, moving my things and then acting concerned when I couldn't find them. But the worst was what I heard her saying to Marcus when they thought I was asleep. "Baby, your mama's getting worse," she said one night, clear as day on my recording. "We need to get power of attorney before something happens. My cousin's a lawyer, he can help us. Once we have control of her finances and the house, we can make sure she's taken care of properly." "I don't know, Keisha. She seems fine to me most of the time." "That's how it starts, Marcus. They have good days and bad days. But when the bad days outnumber the good ones, it'll be too late. We need to protect her assets now. Make sure there's something left after her care expenses." "Protect my assets? Like I was already gone. Like I was some problem to be managed instead of the woman who gave birth to him, who stayed up all night when he had fever, who worked her fingers to the bone so he could have a future." I started keeping everything in a folder, a thick manila envelope I hid in my bedroom behind Roy's old suits that I still couldn't bear to give away. Every recording, every moved object, every lie. I also started telling my friend Diane from church what was happening. Diane's daughter went through something similar with her son-in-law, so she knew the signs. "Gloria, you need a lawyer," Diane told me over coffee at our usual spot, Sanders Cafe on Woodward. "This is elder abuse, plain and simple." "He's my son," I said, still not wanting to believe it. "My only child." "And that woman is poisoning him against you," Diane said. "Love doesn't mean letting someone steal from you." The stealing part started subtle. Money missing from my purse, 20 here, 40 there. Then Keisha got bold. She convinced Marcus to put her on my bank account, just in case of emergencies. The withdrawals started immediately. $500 here, $750 there. When I confronted them, Keisha had receipts ready. For groceries, she said she bought me. I shop at Save-A-Lot, not Whole Foods. For medication, she claimed she picked up. I get my prescriptions from the VA. For home repairs that never happened. In 6 months, they took $8,000. My savings, my emergency fund, my burial insurance money, gone. When I tried to remove Keisha from the account, the bank said I needed Marcus to agree since he was also on the account. When I asked Marcus, he said Keisha was just trying to help manage my finances since I was struggling. "Struggling?" I said. "I've been managing money since before you were born. I kept us fed and housed on minimum wage. I think I know how to balance a checkbook." But he just got that sad look, the one Keisha had trained him to get. "Mama, you forgot to pay the water bill last month. We had to cover it." I never forgot that bill. I had the canceled check to prove it. But when I showed it to him, Keisha was right there saying, "That was from 2 months ago, Mama Gloria. See, you're getting confused about dates. Where are you watching from right now? If this story is touching your heart, drop a comment below. Have you seen this happen to someone you love?" The breaking point came when I overheard Keisha on the phone with someone. Her cousin, the lawyer she'd mentioned. I was supposed to be napping, but I was in the hallway, phone recording everything. "She won't last much longer fighting us," Keisha said. "Marcus is completely on board now. We just need one doctor to say she's showing signs of dementia, and we can file for guardianship. The house is worth at least $120,000, maybe more if we fix it up. We can put her in that state facility on 8 Mile. Medicare covers most of it. We'll sell the house, and after her care costs, we're looking at keeping at least $80,000. My own son, my baby boy, planning to lock me away and steal my home. The home his father worked himself into an early grave to pay for. The home where I rocked him through colic, taught him to tie his shoes, helped him with homework at the kitchen table. That's when I called Mr. Goldstein. Diane's daughter had used him, and he specialized in elder law. When I played him the recordings, showed him the bank statements, the moved objects caught on camera, his face got serious. Mrs. Henderson, this is financial exploitation and elder abuse. We can file for a restraining order, press criminal charges. But I need to ask, are you prepared for what this means? This is your son we're talking about. I thought about all those nights I stayed up with Marcus when he was sick, the times I went without lunch so he could have field trip money, the way I clapped the loudest at every graduation, every achievement, every milestone. Then I thought about him sitting at my kitchen table, telling me I was losing my mind while his wife stole my life savings. Mr. Goldstein, I said, I already lost my son. That woman took him from me. Now I just want justice. We spent 3 months building the case. Every recording, every forged check, every false doctor's visit documented. Mr. Goldstein found something else too. Keisha had done this before. Her first husband's mother had mysteriously developed dementia and lost her condo in Dearborn. The pattern was clear as day once you knew to look for it. During those 3 months, I played along, let them think I was getting worse, started forgetting things on purpose, just to see how excited Keisha would get. She was practically dancing every time I acted confused. Marcus looked guilty sometimes, but he never stopped her, never stood up for his mama. They even brought a doctor to the house, some young man who barely looked at me before agreeing I needed evaluation for assisted living placement. Keisha had papers ready for me to sign, giving Marcus full power of attorney. I pretended my hand was too shaky to hold the pen. Maybe tomorrow, I said weakly. The disappointment on her face was almost worth everything else. The family reunion was my nephew Jerome's wedding reception, a big affair at the church fellowship hall. All the family was there. Cousins from Alabama, my sister Betty from Chicago, church folks, neighbors, everybody. Marcus was in his good suit, Keisha in a designer dress I'm sure my money paid for. They were laughing, dancing, putting on a show of being the perfect couple. That's when Mr. Goldstein texted me. He'd gotten the final piece, proof that Keisha had forged my signature on a loan application, using my house as collateral. She was planning to default on the loan once they had power of attorney, forcing the sale of the house. It was all there in black and white. I stood up slowly, walked to the DJ booth. My nephew Jerome saw me coming and smiled. Auntie Gloria wants to say something, he announced, handing me the microphone. The room quieted down. Marcus and Keisha were still on the dance floor, smiling, not knowing their world was about to collapse. Good evening, family, I started, my voice steady despite my heart racing. My name is Gloria May Henderson. I'm 68 years old, and I have something I need to share with all of you. I saw Keisha's smile falter just a little. You all know me. You know I raised Marcus alone after Roy passed. You know I worked 2 jobs to put him through school. You know I love my son more than life itself. I paused, looking directly at Marcus, which is why what I'm about to say breaks my heart. Mama, Marcus started, but I kept going. For the past 3 years, my daughter-in-law has been trying to convince everyone, including my son, that I have dementia. She's been stealing from me, manipulating my son, and planning to put me in a home and take my house. The room gasped. Keisha stepped forward. Mama Gloria, you're confused. This is exactly what we were worried about. I'm not finished, I said firmly. Then I pulled out my phone. I have recordings, Keisha. 3 years worth. Would you like me to play them for everyone? The color drained from her face. I played the first recording. Keisha talking about getting power of attorney and selling my house. The room was dead silent except for her voice coming through the phone speakers. Then I played another, her admitting to her cousin that I was perfectly healthy, but Marcus believes whatever I tell him. That's taken out of context, Keisha stammered. And the bank statement showing you stole $8,000? The forged loan documents? The fake doctor you brought to declare me incompetent? Is that all out of context too? Marcus was staring at his wife like he'd never seen her before. Keisha, what is she talking about? But I wasn't done. I turned to the room full of family and friends. I stand here not as a bitter old woman, but as a mother whose heart is broken. I gave everything for my son, and he let this woman convince him to throw me away like garbage. I have all the evidence right here. I held up the manila folder. And my lawyer has copies of everything. Criminal charges will be filed on Monday. Keisha tried to run, but my nephew Jerome's new wife, bless her heart, was standing by the door. I don't think so, honey, she said. You're going to hear this. I looked at my son, my baby boy, standing there with tears in his eyes. Marcus, you let her convince you that the woman who loved you more than anything in this world was losing her mind. You sat at my table, ate my food, and plotted to lock me away. You are no longer welcome in my home. Mama, please, I'm not your mama anymore, I said. And those were the hardest words I ever spoke. Your mama was someone you respected, someone you protected. I don't know who I am to you now, but I'm not that. The police arrived then. Mr. Goldstein had arranged for them to be there. They took Keisha away in handcuffs right there at the wedding reception. The charges included elder abuse, fraud, forgery, and identity theft. Marcus tried to follow, but I stopped him. You want to know the saddest part? I asked him. If you had just asked me for help, for money, I would have given you everything, but you chose to betray me instead. The aftermath was swift and brutal. Keisha's past came out. 2 other elderly victims, both lost their homes. She got 7 years in prison and had to pay restitution. Marcus lost his job when Ford found out about the elder abuse case. Their house went into foreclosure. Turns out they were living way beyond their means, counting on my money to save them. The family rallied around me. My sister Betty stayed with me for a month, helping me change locks and bank accounts. The church raised money to help me recover some of what was stolen. My nephew Jerome and his wife check on me every week. The community showed me love I didn't even know was there. But the hole in my heart where my son used to be, that doesn't heal. I see mothers with their sons at church, and I have to look away. I found his baby pictures the other day and cried for an hour. That sweet little boy who used to say, "I love you, Mama," before bed every night was gone long before I stood up at that wedding. What would you have done? If your own child chose greed over love, manipulation over respect, would you have fought back? Drop a comment below and let me know. It's been 6 months now since the wedding. I still live in my little house on Dexter Avenue. Roy's roses are blooming again. Sister Washington still picks me up for church. I volunteer now with the Elder Protective Services, helping other seniors recognize the signs of financial abuse. You'd be surprised how common it is, or maybe you wouldn't. I got a letter from Marcus last week. He's living with a cousin in Ohio, working construction. He wrote that he was sorry, that Keisha had convinced him I was sick, that he thought he was protecting me. He wants to come home. I haven't answered yet. How do you forgive someone who was willing to throw you away? How do you trust someone who chose a manipulator over the woman who gave him life. But then again, how do you stop loving your child, even when they break your heart? I've learned some things through this ordeal. Document everything. Trust your instincts when something feels wrong. Don't let anyone make you doubt your own mind. And sometimes, the people who hurt us most are the ones we love most. If you're going through something similar, if someone is trying to convince you that you're losing it when you know you're not, if family members are plotting against you, speak up. Get help. Don't wait like I did. The National Center on Elder Abuse has a hotline. Adult Protective Services exist in every state. You are not alone, and you are not crazy. To the elderly folks watching this, protect yourselves. Keep your documents safe. Don't add anyone to your bank accounts unless absolutely necessary. If someone starts suggesting you're forgetting things when you're not, that's a red flag. And if family members suddenly become very interested in your finances or your will, pay attention. To the adult children watching, remember that your parents sacrificed for you. They went without so you could have. They loved you when you were unlovable. They deserved respect and protection, not exploitation. If you see a sibling or spouse mistreating your elderly parent, speak up. Don't be like the family members who sided with Keisha because they thought they might get a piece of my house. My name is Gloria May Henderson. I'm 68 years old, and I survived elder abuse from my own son and daughter-in-law. I lost my child but kept my dignity. I lost my family but found my strength. And every morning when I wake up in my own bed, in my own house, with my mind clear and my conscience clean, I thank God that I fought back. The truth really does come to light, even when it takes 3 years and breaks your heart in the process. Sometimes justice comes with a price you never wanted to pay, but staying silent while someone steals your life, that costs even more. If this story touched your heart, please like and share it. Someone you know might need to hear this. Subscribe for more stories of triumph over betrayal, and remember, you're stronger than you think.